Hi, do you know what you're looking at here? This is a view of the heliosphere of our solar system. The blue ribbon represents a particle stream that appears in the heliosphere as a curved line. NASA was shocked when they started receiving this data back from the IBEX satellites and the Voyager satellites. Totally unexpected to see an energy concentration in this way. But just as they were shocked, I can show you the exact same thing on the planetary level in plasma physics that they haven't even begun to think about yet. That energy distribution pattern is nothing but the geometric expression of phi. So let's bring that plasma phenomena evident in the heliosphere down to our magnetosphere. What you're looking at here is how magnetic fields interact with each other, the opposing forces, or the magnetic reconnection. Here are two opposing poles of a magnet with iron filings to demonstrate the magnetic field. You can see that magnetic reconnection happening in this real-world example. Now, since our planet has a north and south pole, and these poles oppose each other, you should be able to find a similar effect somewhere along the Earth's equator. And here it is, right over Thailand. You can see the magnetic field intensity lines come together at this point, and they form a magnetic reconnection point. Also could be called a neural point. Here it is a little closer. Now, the UCLA Plasma Lab has taken the time to map these magnetic effects in a plasma, and they look like this. Here's a close-up of that merge and neural point. Note how to the right of the merge point you have a swirling effect. Now think, the Pacific Ring of Fire, where does it start? Where does El Nino and La Nina form in relationship to that neural point and the Pacific Ocean? Here is that mapping again of the magnetic field intensity, only this time it's overlaid to gravity anomalies on the planet Earth's surface. Can you see how the gravity anomalies are related to this injection point of neural energy? I shouldn't call it neural energy. I should call it solar plasma energy. As you're well aware, the Earth is constantly hit by the solar wind. The solar wind is nothing but charged particles that are expelled from the sun and flow outwards. A geomagnetic storm usually occurs when a large cloud of these hits the Earth. When that happens, this happens. According to NASA, the charged particles ejected from the sun via a coronal hole or solar flare, coronal mass ejection, and travels towards the Earth, where it impacts the Earth's magnetosphere, and the magnetosphere responds to the pressure of the solar wind, and it collapses a bit and folds back. Now, as energy, this plasma accumulates, the field is pushed together, and energy is snapped back towards the planet, at which point that plasma interacts with the north and south poles. But you will know that it's also interacting at a third point at the equator. And that's the third neural point, or an energy injection site that affects climate and geology. This third neural point brings energy from the north and south poles to the equator in a shape not unlike that you see in the ribbon on the heliosphere of energy. It comes down in that phi-shaped pattern, okay, and enters that third neural point, which injects that solar plasma deep into the magnetosphere, forming a plasmoid or a bubble. This bubble then drifts eastward following magnetic rules of repulsion. And as it moves eastward, it causes warm fronts, it causes high pressure areas, all aspects of weather. As this charged particles cross over grounding points like tectonic fault lines or ancient impact craters where grounding is better, it can form earthquakes. It can seed tornadoes because as the plasma grounds out, the right-hand rule of electromagnetic force comes into play. That's the same force that creates an earthquake. NASA has no clue as to how important this third neural point is to the injection of energy into our planet, controlling climate, geology, weather. I hope you enjoyed this educational video, and if you want to learn more about some of the key topics, look into phi, which I consider to be the path of least resistance taken by energy in a semi-closed system. You can look into magnetic reconnection and plasma physics. And I hope you enjoyed this little talk.